Week 10 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few quarterbacks I have as sleepers this week. The first quarterback, Cooper Rush of the Dallas Cowboys. Tonight he's going to be the starter minimum the next month of the season with Dak Prescott placed on IR with the hamstring injury. And Cooper Rush, we saw him a couple years ago come in relief for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys actually were 5-1 on the rush. So last game he came in the third quarter, 115 pass yards at Atlanta in week 9. A touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and 4 rush yards. So this Cowboy offense, not much going on over there. CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, Dottle with decent back out of the backfield. They just traded for Jonathan Mingo, and Brandon Cooks possibly could return soon. But this week, it's not a great matchup versus Philadelphia, but this Cowboy team definitely has to put points on the board if they want to keep up. But I also could see this ball game being a game with Dallas is down early and often and a lot of garbage time, which is going to play into stats if you need a quarterback in deeper leagues with the bye weeks, or if you're in a 2-quarterback league. He's a sleeper option out there in 97% of fantasy leagues. Next quarterback, Drake May of the New England Patriots. So Drake May, he's been pretty impressive in terms of putting up fantasy points and actually getting the football down the field and making plays with his legs for this Patriot team. I know it hasn't resulted in many victories for this Patriot team where May's in there. They're 1-3 in these ball games. Since he's a starter, week 6 versus Houston, 243 pass yards, 3 touchdowns, 38 rush yards, 2 interceptions, a fumble loss. Week 7 at Jacksonville, 276 passing, 2 touchdowns, 18 rush yards. Week 8 versus the Jets, he left early with a concussion, but he had 46 rush yards, a touchdown. And week 9 at the Titans, 206 pass yards, a touchdown, 95 rush yards, a fumble loss, and 2 interceptions. So the turnovers have been the problem for Drake May. But like I said, he's getting a lot of yards on the ground this season, especially the last 2 games, over 130 yards rushing for Drake May. So this week, definitely a tough matchup in Chicago, one of the better defenses and underrated defenses in the league, and traveling to Soldier Field. But like I said, May with his legs, and he's a gunslinger so far, it looks like. He's going to put some points on the board and can help fantasy owners as a sleeper option. He's available in 88% of fantasy leagues. And the third and final quarterback I have is a sleeper, is Daniel Jones of the New York Giants, out there in 84% of fantasy leagues. This is a decent streaming option versus the Carolina Panthers in Germany, Munich, where they give up the 4th most fantasy points to quarterbacks on the season. Now, I know Daniel Jones, it's been a struggle all season long to find the end zone, but he's got good weapons. Malik Nabers, Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, is pretty decent. Theo Johnson's emerging. Tyrone Tracy out of the backfield. But the problem with Jones, he holds on to the football a whole lot, and he looks to run a whole lot as well. So week 9, it was a good game for him, but a lot of garbage time versus the Commanders. 174 pass yards, 2 touchdowns, 54 rush yards, a TD, and a fumble loss. So like I said, is a streaming option and a sleeper. I think he can help owners in deeper leagues, available in 84% of fantasy leagues. That's a few quarterbacks I have as sleepers for week 10 of the fantasy football season.